Hey, this is Annalicia. I'm so happy that you're joining me today. Here on the mat with me is Sarah. She's going to be joining us for our practice, and we're going to begin in child's pose. So bring your big toes together to touch. Knees anywhere from touching to mat width apart. I typically prefer mat width apart. And then bring your forehead either to the mat, or if your forehead doesn't reach the mat, you can stack your fists and bring your forehead to your fists. This is a beautiful time at the onset of your practice to get clear about an intention. So in other words, what are you wanting to focus on during this time on your mat? And once again, what do you need from your practice? Once you've gotten clear on your intention, shift your focus to your breathing. Now at this point, to be really easy with yourself, just notice whether or not you're breathing, how strained or fluid it is. No need to have a perfect yogic breath or Pilates breath right now. Just make sure it's moving. As we focus on our breath, that helps us warm up our body. It also helps us warm up our mind, help us focus throughout this practice. Take 2 more mindful breaths here. And once you've finished those 2 breaths, come forward to your hands and your knees. Make really bright fingers so your wrists have a wide base to be supported with. And make sure your pointer fingers are going straight forward. That's going to ensure that you have the proper position. Now, if your wrists are an issue for you, then make fists. That's going to keep things nice and straight with that joint, so it'll alleviate some pressure. So we're going to go into a plank position, meaning you're going to bring your knees back just a little bit. Keep them on the ground, and then bring your hips down so that they're in line with the rest of your body. Feel your belly button pull up. Notice how your shoulders want to move towards your ears. Try not to let that happen. So create as much space between your shoulders and your ears as possible. If at any point you need to take a break, push back into child's pose. Otherwise, see if you can hang on here for another 2 breaths, belly button up, shoulders down. And once you've finished those breaths, then keep your hands just as they are now, tuck your toes under, and push your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Now bring your big toes out wide so they're at the edge of your mat. This is a wide-legged down dog, and it can feel really nice sometimes because it offers a little extra support for your upper body. So if any movement would feel good here, like maybe you bend both knees and then lengthen, or you pedal your feet, go ahead and do that. Sometimes I like to nod my head, stick out my tongue. I'm just kidding. Don't do that one. And then from this position, make sure your knees are bent. Keep them that way. Belly button towards your spine, and walk your hands back towards your feet. Now once you get there, let your chest rest on your thighs. This version of a forward fold where we have a deep knee bend helps release our lower back. If you decide this feels really good, you're welcome to stay. If you want to try straightening your legs, you can certainly do that. If you choose to straighten your legs, that's going to lengthen your calves and your hamstrings. No need to touch the ground if that's not available to you, no worries. Nod your head yes. Shake no. And if your legs are straight, re-bend your knees. Pull your belly button towards your spine, and then roll up 1 vertebrae at a time to a standing position, a little bit slower than you want to. Nice. Bring your feet right under your hips. And on your next inhale, extend 1 arm towards the ceiling, other arm towards the floor. So you're lengthening in opposite directions. Switch on your next breath. So inhale here. Hold for a long, slow exhale. Use your next inhale to bring your hands together, soft knees, and then exhale, circle, belly button towards your spine. Circle the other way. Let's do that one more time. So lengthen in opposite directions on your inhale. Hold on your exhale. Switch on your next breath. Very nice. On your next inhale, hands together. Soft knees. Exhale, circle. You decide how big or small you want your circle. Other way. This is a great one to loosen up your side body and lower back. Drop your hands to heart center. Close your eyes for a moment. Reconnect with your intention. Reconnect with your breath. Gently blink your eyes open. Inhale, bring your hands up, high prayer. Exhale, fold through heart center. You decide if you want straight legs or bent knees. On your next inhale, do a halfway lift. Lengthen out parallel with the ground. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand, high prayer. Exhale, hands to heart center. Awesome. We're moving right from here into crescent lunge. So step forward with your right leg. Now, the longer your stance, the more intense this lunge will be. So you decide what you need today. Bring your right knee over your right ankle and bring your arms out to a T. That's going to help you balance. Now with crescent lunge, we have our feet almost like they're in cross-country ski tracks. So both sets of toes are pointed forward and they're hip-width apart. You're going to zip up in your belly. And then if at any point you need to take a break, all you got to do, this is really simple, just straighten your front leg, take a breather, re-lunge when you're ready. That's beautiful, Sarah. Knee right over your ankle. On your next exhale, if you'd like a little extra challenge, then twist to the right, open arm twist. As you're twisting, you're wanting to see if you can keep your body from your rib cage on down stable and just have the twist come from your upper body, from your rib cage on up. On your next inhale, come back to center. To maneuver that a little bit. And then from here, we're going to adjust our back foot and our hips to find warrior two. So turn your hips now so they're pointing towards the side. And your feet are perpendicular. You've got heel to arch alignment. Now here's two things that are going to stay the same between warrior two and crescent lunge. The first is that our front knee is bent over our front ankle. You can float your arms up. Secondly, the longer our stance, the more intense the warrior becomes. So you decide what you need. Let me show you here what I mean by that. And if Sarah, you need to take a break, just straighten your front leg at any point. So look at this. If I have a really long stance, see how deep my lunge is? That's going to be much more challenging to hold than if I bring my feet closer together and have a stance like this. So each and every day, you got to decide what works for you. So arms are parallel with the ground. On your next inhale, reach forward. And on your exhale, bring your elbow to your knee, left arm right above your shoulder. Side angle pose. Pull your chest towards the sky. If it feels okay to look up at the ceiling, you can do that. If it feels better to look down at the ground, that's fine too. Belly button to your spine. Inhale, come up. Warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Now exhale, reach your right arm back. Very nice. Feel free to keep both arms straight. Another option is to bring your right hand to your left ear and your left arm into a half bind. One more breath in this position. And at the bottom of your exhale, circle out of it and back into warrior two for a moment. In warrior two, we have bright fingers and our gaze is out through our front middle finger. Awesome. From here, straighten your front leg, bring yourself up to the top of your mat, shake it out a little bit. Nothing we do in yoga or Pilates is that serious, so if you're feeling like it is, just give yourself a little shake and a little smile. Hands at heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Soft knees. Inhale, stand, high prayer. Exhale, hands to heart center. Close your eyes for a moment. Reconnect. Blink your eyes open. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. This time, since we're at the top of our mat, we're going to step back into crescent lunge. So step your right leg back, left leg forward. So again, your hips are pointed towards the front. Your toes are pointed towards the front. Arms are out at a T for extra balance help. Knee, your left knee, I should say, is right over your ankle. Zip in your belly. Then if you'd like an extra challenge, use your next exhale to twist to the left, open arm twist. Now here's a secret with twisting. Regardless of what position you're twisting in, you always want to initiate it with your shoulder. So in this case, your left shoulder blade pulls towards your spine. Inhale, come back to center. And from here, find warrior two. So we're adjusting our hips and our back foot. So now our feet are perpendicular, heel to arch alignment. Hip bones are squared to the side. Left knee is bent over our left ankle. Now back leg is straight. So straight, in fact, that you're pushing through the pinky toe side of your back foot to really accentuate that lengthening. On your next inhale, reach forward. Elbow to your knee, side angle pose. Your chest opens towards the sky, and you decide where you need to look depending on what feels best on your neck. Relax your jaw. Engage your abdominal muscles before you move, then utilize them to come back up, warrior two. It takes a lot of strength. Nice. Straighten your front leg. Reach back, reverse warrior. Reverse triangle. So again, both arms can stay straight, or you can find this position if you'd prefer. What we're really trying to do here is get deep into our side body, including our intercostal muscles, the muscles between our ribs. One more long, slow inhale. Then on your long, slow exhale, circle out of this pose. Float your arms up. Re-lunge, warrior two. Remind yourself that in these lunges, when your knee is over your ankle, that's when your muscles are really working. Whenever you need to take a break, you just straighten your front leg. One more breath here. Awesome. Straighten. Step forward. Whew. Shake it out. Let's do a half vinyasa. Hands at heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand. Exhale, pull your hands in. Close your eyes for a moment. Check in with your intention. Gently blink your eyes open. We're moving to tree pose, a really beautiful balance posture. So arms out to a T to begin with. You could even go to a wall if you needed a little extra support. Then from here, kickstand your right toes, or your right heel, I should say, up. So your toes are staying on the ground. Posture is strong. So if you had a string connected to the crown of your head and you pulled it up, it would help lengthen everything, including your spine. Now this might be your version of tree. If that's the case, if this is challenging for you, stay, taking a break just by going like this whenever you need to. If, however, you'd like a bigger challenge, try bringing your foot up towards your shin. So it's on the side of your left leg, but instead of your toes being planted, now you're really just balancing on one foot. Take note of your drishti. Drishti is a Sanskrit word that means focus. So in my mind, that means two things. It's where you're actually focusing with your eyesight. Try to look at something that's not moving. And secondly, where you're focusing your mind. Try to focus on your breath. On your next exhale, drop down, shake it out. And we're going to move right to the other side. So arms out to a T to help you balance. Left toes kickstand. Posture strong. Shoulders drop. Put a tiny little smile on your face, or maybe a big one. And then check in with your drishti. If you want to bring your foot up, do that now. See if you can keep your weight evenly distributed in your planted foot. On your next exhale, drop down. Really nice job. Let's do a half vinyasa, hands at heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Stay here. Let your head hang heavy. Now, when we are in a forward fold, we actually want to pull our shoulders up away from the mat. That seems a little counterintuitive, but what that's going to do is create a lot of space between your shoulders and your ears, and you'll notice that it actually feels better. From this position, we're going to work our way down to the mat. So keep bending your knees. Use your hands whenever you need to. And we're going to come all the way down to a position on our back. So the safest way to do that is bend both knees, roll to your shoulder, and then all the way around. So now we're going to transition into some core exercises that come straight from Pilates. First thing I'd like you to do here with your hands at your sides is find imprinted pelvis. So think of a bowl of water resting on your pelvis and spill it towards your chest. So in other words, we want to get rid of any space that may be between your lower back and the floor. Then envision a heavy anchor resting on your stomach. This visual of an anchor is going to help remind us that we want to prioritize stability. So in other words, whatever our arms and legs are doing, we want to keep this part of our body completely still. That's our number one goal. So with that being said, bring your arms out to a T. I'm going to keep mine right at my side just because of space. Sarah, feel free to bring yours to a T. That's going to give us a little more stability to work with. Then try bringing your right knee up into a tabletop position, meaning knee over your hip, shin parallel with the floor. You can stay here, or if you're really going for the gusto, you can try bringing both knees up into tabletop. Now, regardless of which one you choose, make sure that you're focusing on that imprinted pelvis. So in other words, notice if your belly button or your lower back want to pop up, and see if you can keep them pulling down. If you have one leg up, switch legs now. And if at any point you need to take a break, just grab behind your thighs and pull your knees in like this. That'll help your lower back release and give your abs a little break. Otherwise, if possible, keep your shoulders away from your ears and hang out here for one more long, slow breath. And once you finish that breath, pull your knees into your chest. Oh, wiggle your toes. Very nice. Look both ways with your head. We've got one more ab exercise to do. Once again, it comes from the Pilates practice. It's called the single straight leg stretch. So drop your feet, re-establish your imprinted pelvic position, visualize your anchor, then pull your knees back into your chest, keeping imprinted pelvis in place, and extend your right leg up. Pull behind your thigh. So if you have the flexibility, you're welcome to straighten your leg, but if that's not available to you today, just keep a little knee bend here. Now extend your other leg out, and on your next inhale, gently pulse twice. Exhale, switch. Inhale, inhale, big exhale. The bigger your movement, the more intense this one becomes. So today or one day, someday, if you're looking for a bigger challenge, this exercise might become something that looks like this. So you'll notice that my movement is much bigger, and therefore it takes more core strength and core work to stabilize. So you decide what you need today. Hang on for 2 more sets, so 2 more on each side. Inhale, inhale, exhale, switch. Powerful exhale as you switch. Belly button pulling away from your thighs. Awesome, knees into your chest. Take a well-deserved break. From this position, we're going to transition into some upper back work. So we're going to get up the same way we came down, meaning you're going to keep your knees bent, roll to your side, gently push yourself up. Swing your legs around. And I'm going to have you meet me in that plank position that we started our practice in. So your knees are planted, your hands are bright, or you're on your fists, your choice. Drop your hips. And we're going to use this plank position to transition down to the mat. So belly button pulls up as you come down as slowly as possible. This takes a ton of strength. Do what you can. Once you get down to the mat, stack your hands, forehead down, rest for a moment. And as you're lying in this position, start to prepare your body for our next exercise called T-straps by squeezing your heels together. So throughout T-straps, what you want to feel is your inner thighs really engaged. That's going to help protect your lower back. So keeping your inner thighs fired up, bring your arms out to a T. Take an inhale to prep. On your exhale, gently pull back. Palms face each other. Thumbs point down. Inhale back to a T. Exhale, pull back. So you're trying to pull your shoulder blades together. That's where we're targeting. Come back to a T. 2 more. Exhale, pull. Heels squeeze together. Awesome. 1 more time. Inhale down. Belly button up. Exhale, pull back. Come back to a T, and then stack your hands. Forehead down. Rest. So T-straps is awesome. Once again, it comes from a Pilates practice. It's typically done on a reformer, a Pilates piece of equipment. It's really great because it helps tone and strengthen and bring some blood flow to our upper back, which is a place that most of us are very weak and very aggravated. So that extra blood flow and strength, frankly, is going to help a lot. On your next exhale, push your hips back to child's pose. Notice that this child's pose feels different than the first. On an inhale, roll up. And make your way down to the mat. One last time. Again, knees are bent, shoulder first, then roll to your back. We're going to do modified pigeon, a really great hip opener. So bring your right ankle to your left thigh. Gently push your knee away from you. And then check in. If this is a big enough stretch for you, then stay here. If you need a bigger stretch, use your next exhale to pull this whole unit closer to you. And if it's available, you can slide your hands and wrap them around your left thigh. As you're holding here, gently flex both toes. That's going to keep a little engagement in your legs to help protect you as you move deeper into this stretch. See what's going on with your upper body. Allow yourself to relax as much as possible. Core stays strong. On each exhale, bring yourself a tiny bit deeper into this posture. And we can loosen up our hips. It makes the rest of our body feel so much better. It helps with back issues, knee issues, so on and so forth. So push yourself to a point where you're feeling a little discomfort, meaning pulling, aching, or burning, no shooting pain. And just remind yourself that that discomfort is worth it. It's going to make you a lot more comfortable later. One more breath. Slowly drop your left foot down. Switch sides. Left ankle to your right thigh. Gently push your knee away. Check in. If you want to move deeper into the stretch, use your next exhale to pull up. Grab behind your right leg if that's available. Gently flex your toes. Core stays strong. Face relaxed. Inhale. Rest and relax where you're at. Exhale, go deeper. Once again, pulling, aching, and burning are good discomforts. Shooting pain, grinding pain, or cramping up means you probably need to take a break or skip this pose. So if you're feeling a true discomfort, then stay here for 2 more breaths, maybe even going a little deeper. And whenever you finish with those 2 breaths, slowly lower your right foot down. Nice. And from here, just go right into a cross-legged position. So left leg over your right, like you're in a dress. And then bring your arms out to a T or even a cactus position. So Sarah and I will do cactuses because we have a little space issue over here. Then on your next exhale, drop your knees gently to the right. And as you do that, keep both shoulders grounded, specifically your left shoulder. Now, once you have found this position, this supine twist, see if you can allow yourself to be supported by the ground. So what typically happens is when we twist, we tighten up. It's just your body's way of protecting yourself. So you got to consciously allow your body to relax. Let it know that it's safe. And the best way to do that is to really focus on your breathing. On each exhale, think of letting go. Before you move out of this position, engage your abdominal muscles by pulling your belly button towards your spine. Use those muscles to bring your knees up on an inhale. Beautiful. Switch legs, right leg over your left. On your next exhale, gently drop your knees to the left. Once again, both shoulders stay grounded. Pay close attention to your right shoulder. It's probably going to want to pop up. Don't let that happen. Now that you're in the pose, relax into it. Twisting is awesome, not only for your back, but it also is helpful in regards to detoxing your body. So it's almost like you're giving your internal organs a massage. It's going to help get things moving. Once again, before you even think about moving, pull your belly button towards your spine. Support yourself. Then use an inhale to come up. On your exhale, pull your knees into your chest. Awesome job. We are moving into Savasana, our final resting pose, where you get to soak up all the benefits of what you just did. So drop your feet down And let your knees tent in for a second. This position allows your lower back to relax. Bring your arms to about a 45-degree angle away from your body, palms up. And if this leg position feels really good to you, then feel free to stay. If, on the other hand, you'd prefer to extend your legs out, you can do that now. In that case, bring your legs mat width apart and let your pinky toes fall towards the ground. Close your eyes if they aren't already. Once again, this is your time to rest, relax. Awesome practice. Soak it up here. When you're ready to come back to your body, gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. Then roll to your side with your knees bent. Rest there for a sec. And this is a time where I always like to bring some gratitude into my practice. So if that resonates with you, then think about one or two things that you're truly grateful for. On your next inhale, gently push yourself up to a seated position. Hold yourself with strong posture and pull your hands into heart center. Keep your eyes closed. And check in with your intention one last time. You may even want to ask yourself if this is an intention you can take off the mat today. Take a deep breath. We're going to end with a blessing. So bring your hands to the space between your eyes. May you have peace in your thoughts today. Hands to your lips. May you have peace in your words. And hands to your heart. May you have peace in your heart and actions. Namaste.